morning everyone, and welcome back to the Carnahan fam. Today's gonna be a kind of different video because today we wanted to answer the questions that you guys had for us. We get questions all of the time, and I really try to be really good about answering them back in the comments and messages on Instagram and things like that. But today we have a list of questions that many of our friends and viewers submitted to us that we wanted to answer for you. We have a lot of questions on kind of some things that relate to parenting, some about YouTube, and then of course plenty about our personal life. So if you have more questions after this video, feel free to drop them in the comments. We will definitely do our best to answer those questions, and maybe we'll even do another video here in a couple months answering some more. So let's get started on those questions. Let's start with the parenting questions. Brianna asked us, what is your parenting style and why? And I think that is a great question to kick off our parenting section of this Q&A. The biggest way to put an umbrella term over the way that we parent is going to be through the positive parenting approach. Positive parenting focuses on a cooperative and mutually respectful relationship between the parent and the child. It focuses on teaching in challenging moments rather than punishing, providing your child with the most amount of freedom as possible within limits and reason. We do want to do a couple vlogs here in the future if you guys would be interested in positive parenting, kind of talking about that and what that looks like in our home. And there is a part that I don't think completely fits with positive parenting and full freedom. We have the expectation in our house that if mom or dad says do it, it's going to get done. No is not an option, and just those kinds of things, which doesn't completely mesh with positive parenting. So just to kind of wrap that up, a clear and concise answer would be the biggest style that we relate to is positive parenting, because it's been shown to be the healthiest way to raise a mentally and emotionally healthy child. Kind of on that same note, this question comes from Desiree. She asked, how do you stay so calm and patient when teaching your kids? And I think the best way to start this off is realizing that kids will be kids. By understanding that kids are kids, it's easy to dismiss their bursts of energy or their bursts of misbehavior, because kids will be kids, especially at the age that our kids are at, these young toddlers, where they're learning the boundaries and pushing the boundaries. I'm not gonna say that we're patient all the time. We absolutely try our best, but we are parents just like you, and we're learning the best way to do that. The positive parenting style has really helped us, especially when we're having those kinds of teaching moments and disciplining our children. But when it's other teaching moments like preschool and learning letters and those kinds of things, we get down with them, we're silly with them, we're in their world at their level, and in that way, there's no need to be calm and patient because you're kind of a kid the same way they are. This next question comes from Fiona, and she asked us, how do you go out and traveling with your kids, and how do you keep them happy and occupied? This is actually something that's really important to me, going out with the kids. One, we're on a super consistent schedule in our house. I mean, wake up times, meal times, nap times, those things are non-negotiables in our house, and they remain the same for the most part. Keeping them happy isn't nearly as hard when their bodies are well regulated and their needs are met. If you've ever heard the acronym HALT, it's a great parenting tool that can help you to identify some of the needs that your child might be having in a moment where they might otherwise be losing control. HALT, H stands for hungry. Is your child hungry? A, is your child feeling angry? L is lonely, and T is tired. By looking at all those things, I can know what needs do they have, what needs are not being met. That's kind of the way that we address their behaviors all the time, but especially while we're out. We generally do not have problems when we go out, when all those needs are met. Now, sometimes are they not met? Yeah. And are we gonna have meltdowns just like every other toddler in the world? Yes. Whether we're in town or out of town, when we're out and about traveling with our kids, by consciously making sure that we're meeting their needs, they almost naturally keep themselves happy and occupied. Brianna said, what are your thoughts on technology and TV in the home? And Desiree had some follow-up questions with that, with what are your favorite shows and movies for your kids, and in turn, what are their favorite shows? First, our thoughts on technology and TV in the home is they are welcome in our home, and they can be some great tools. Christian just turned 2. We've had some wonderful, great teaching moments with him in the last 6 months with technology, but that is what we mostly try to keep our technology to. So Christian has seen Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, Mickey and the Roadster Racers, Peter Pan, which he's actually currently obsessed with. And then as far as teaching tools go, we love Daniel Tiger. And we love Letter Factory, which is a show that we play on YouTube. A couple general rules in our house: our phones are not toys. Our children are not allowed on our phones. We don't download apps for them on our phones. They do not watch videos on our phones. We also have the rule in our house of no screens during mealtime. Even several months ago, we moved our TV into our bedroom so that it wasn't out in the living space. Not because I like TVs in the bedroom, but because I didn't want a TV out here in our living space, which made it so much easier to be able to limit the amount of screen time that Christian was asking for because he wasn't reminded by some giant screen in our living room. Whenever we introduce a new show in our house, we make sure that we are sitting side by side with our child and do what's called co-viewing, where you can help your child to understand what they are seeing and kind of make sense of it. What I love about doing this is there are great teaching opportunities that can come from viewing social situations. There are great parallels you can make between books that you're reading and then seeing it on the screen. Technology really can be a wonderful and useful tool if it is used intentionally. That being said, there are moments where I need to finish cutting a vlog, Ainsley's taking a nap, Quinn's in school, and I will offer for Christian to watch a show. It's important to know that screens are not evil. When paired with good exercise, ample opportunities for imaginative and creative play, your child is going to be just fine. Like I said, I could make a whole video about this, and I will if that's something that you guys would be interested in, but I will move on to the next question for the sake of time. This next question from Desiree is a great segue kind of into our YouTube section and finishing off our parenting section. It is, how do you balance the kids and work? Learning how to balance those things and our children has been tricky. It really has. There's always going to be a sacrifice. You're only given so many hours a day. Wherever you choose to spend your time, you're going to sacrifice something. I learned a long time ago, with all the responsibilities that I have, I can manage any 2 hats or 2 responsibilities fairly well in a given day and balance that and manage that. Obviously, one of those things is always going to be being a mom. Later in a different stage of life, it's not gonna be a daily responsibility of mine, but in this stage of life, as a stay-at-home mom with these 2 young kids, that is a priority. Doing that and then picking one other thing. Maybe I'm focusing on YouTube for the day, or maybe I'm focusing on my business, or maybe I'm focusing on finding my house. By only picking 2, I'm able to feel a little more balance. And more on sacrifice is so much of the time, the balance comes from making the time myself. So my kids get up at 7:30 and I get up at 5. That gives me 2.5 hours in the morning. Same in the evening. You have to sacrifice sleep or working out or, something. There's always gonna be something that will give. To find balance between our kids and work, it's really about making the most of the moment that I'm in, whether I'm being a mom in that moment or working in that moment, making the most of those moments, sacrificing in other moments, and then allowing myself to know that it's okay to not be everything every day. Some more YouTube questions. This came from Katie. She said, where do you hope to see your YouTube channel go? So we have made a goal for in 2021, we would love to have 10,000 subscribers. We are a monetized channel. We would love it to be a more substantial part of our income to help offset some of the student loans that we are living in with Quentin Medical School. It would really bless our family if we could get our YouTube channel into that place. But even more so, Quinn and I marvel almost daily at the YouTube community that is being built around our channel. We love the way that our videos are blessing families. We're looking forward to this next year where we're planning just wonderful content to help strengthen parents and strengthen families and help parents to feel like they have access to more tools and information to feel more prepared in parenting. We just really hope to continue on this journey of parenting and providing resources and ideas and just ways to uplift one another as parents for the long term on our channel. Desiree asked, what are some pros and cons about working on YouTube? There are so many wonderful pros. So just a personal thing, I have a horrible memory, and YouTube has totally blessed our family in being able to remember sweet moments of our children. Christian and I went back and watched our Disneyland vlog, which was one of the first videos we put out back in March or April, just a couple days ago, and it was just so sweet to see Christian and Ainsley, so little at that age, what they were like when they were that young, see their personality and hear their laughs, and easily such a huge pro. Another pro, I love reading the comments on YouTube. There are so many families that have just outpoured so much like love and gratitude for the content that we've shared, and it really makes us feel like we're making a difference for those families. It's so fulfilling, and it checks all the right boxes for me. Cons would be, we have a regular upload schedule. So even when I'm feeling like crap and I don't have, the energy or, the mentality to put on a smile and film, it's important that we do. All right, now into the personal questions. Fuller asked, after a long day, how do you and your husband unwind? Quinn and I were just laughing about this last night, but we love watching a good series of shows together. We usually pick one show, we watch the entire series, we'll watch one episode a night, snuggle up in bed, put our work away. We talk about the show throughout it the whole time, and we really bond that way. I don't know why. We also just talk about everything. And so at night after the kids go down, there are countless stories that I have to share with him about funny things the kids said that day, or just silly things that happened, and we laugh about those things and the silly things that we know are to come, and usually can bring us quite a few laughs too. Fuller also asked what are some of our family traditions for the holidays, but actually our next vlog is entirely on that subject, so we will save that question for next. Katie also asked how many kids our family wants. So as a little bit of background, Quinn comes from a large traditional family, and I come from a large blended family. So either way, we both come from big families, and we both wanted to have a big family when we got married, and we both wanted to have 8 kids. Well, I think Quinn wanted 7 because he comes from a family of 7, but I don't really like odd numbers. I like even numbers, so I said either 6 or 8. We like big, so we went with 8. Now we've come to the place where we've gone through 2 pregnancies. I had preeclampsia with both of them, some postpartum crisis kind of stuff. And it's just that pregnancy doesn't agree with my body super well. So we'll see how many kids my body will do, but we still do want a big family. So either way, there's a lot of Carnahan babies to come in the future. So we hope you look forward to that. This last question I wanted to say for last comes from the Vienna family, and they asked, you look so happy, what's the secret? And this question is just so fun because honestly, we are so happy. We really are. We have tough moments and we have challenging things that we are overcoming, and the same parenting moments that you are, and the same struggles with your spouse, or the same financial stress, and the same coronavirus things. And I think part of the secret is perspective. As Christians, we feel so much hope and joy and peace in Jesus Christ and in the infinite love that our Heavenly Father feels for us. And that in itself, if we just stop there, can help to ease and burden so much of the sorrow and the grief and the challenge that we feel daily. If we stop there, that would be enough. But on top of that, it can give you this perspective of how blessed you are, and how many reasons there are to feel joy, and how many reasons there are to get up and keep going. Peter just woke up from his nap. Say hi.
Hi.
How was your sleep?
Happy.
Happy? Oh, good. Oh, it sounds like Sissy's awake too. Anyway, all I was trying to say was that perspective, I really think, changes the way that you approach life. Really, there's just so much to be thankful for, and if we focus on counting our blessings rather than focusing on our problems. I mean, how can you not just be happy, huh? Anyway, I hope that answering these questions have helped you to get to know us a little bit better. If you have more questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. We would just love to share anything else you're wondering about, and maybe we'll do another one of these in the future. All right, I've got to say bye, everyone. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Until next time.
Next time.
you want to push stop?
Yeah.
Okay, push the little red square.